Today we're going to take a look at Rick and Morty Pinball, so don't go anywhere.
Are you looking for a unique gift idea? Why don't you try a used arcade game for your home? We got pinball machines, shooting games, racing games, all kinds of things like that. So head on over to allcastlegames.com, scroll down and hit the shop button right there, and check out our huge selection of arcade games. If you don't see something here, we can find it for you, so just give us a call and let us know. And all of our games in the state of Wisconsin come with a 90-day service warranty and a lifetime 50% trade-in credit. Stop on over and check it out.
Today we're going to take a look at Rick and Morty Pinball from Spooky Pinball LLC in Benton, Wisconsin. This was released a few days ago. I'm a little behind on making this video because of computer problems, but here we are. Let's see if we can get it done. This is the second game from designer Scott Danesi. His previous game was a Total Nuclear Annihilation, which was well received by the pinball community and pinball fans alike. This is his second forte into the world of pinball design, and we're going to take a look at it. This is my first impressions of the game. Full disclosure, I am not a fan of Rick and Morty. I actually have never seen it, so I'm either not. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not a fan of it. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I haven't really had time to go through and watch it. It looks like a good show, so I'm not really going to comment too much on the show itself. Mostly just on the pinball. So let's take a look here. This is an overview of the play field we're looking at. And straight away you'll notice total Scott Danesi. We have a pop bumper that's out of place, and it's down where the left slingshot should be, which is kind of unique. You'll notice that unlike his previous game, this has a couple of ramps. There's one on the right side here, and then one on the left that kind of goes back through here and pops out somewhere over here. We're going to see if we can take a look in the center here. You have the little ship from Rick and Morty's show, I'm assuming. And then there's something that there's back here they're calling Danesi Lock 2.0. So we're going to take a closer look at the back area. I'm going to scroll down. Here's a look at the cabinet art. Cool. Front area. Now taking a look at the back here, you can see a closer view of the Danesi Lock 2.0. And you can see that there's his signature his numeric displays that he puts in here. But what's cool about this is there's a little stand-up post back underneath here, right where my mouse cursor is. And what you can do is you can hit this drop target, and that they can pop that post up and have it catch the ball and send it back to a drop target like a traditional Danesi lock, or they can send it all the way around. If both drop targets are down, they can orbit the ball back and forth, which it's totally awesome. And what I'm thinking is one of the most unique and overlooked things probably is these clear luminescent drop targets. Excuse my speech. They basically act as inserts and they can light up. And it's so simple but so innovative at the same time that I find it really cool. You'll notice if you look here in the front, right where my mouse is, across here you can see that there's a hole cut for an opto that goes across this whole span right here. So that gives them, control over, if the ball gets close, probably to bring these targets down in time. My main concern with this is there's been issues in the past where when you span optos this far apart, they tend to not work right now. That may not be the case with this one. Let's hope not. Let's see if that's it's not a problem, but hopefully it's not a problem. You'll also notice back here there is a couple of optos here and here, and then there's the same on the other side here so that they can stack balls and see if they're there. So this will definitely be holding some sort of multi-ball action, which is awesome. Another thing here, if you see right here, it looks like they forgot a rubber on this post, but in actuality what it is it's a metal bar that goes kind of straight back over to here. And it turns into a kinetic ball transfer thing. So the ball will hit this and kinetically transfer energy to a captive ball back here, which is also fairly unique. I don't think I've ever seen that done before. So there's a lot of innovation here, even though it doesn't really appear for first glance that that's the case. But You can see that there's definitely orbits around each side. I know there's a diverter back here, so there's all kinds of stuff going around in these orbits. Let's see if we can take a look. And up on the, I did forget to mention, up here on the right, there is a third flipper, which will feed some of those orbits. I don't think it'll feed this ramp. And down here on the left, you can see that there's a scoop here, and there's a scoop in the center, but this scoop here is actually a ball trough underneath. So it can actually stack whole games with the balls in theory. And it just shoots them down this inlay, which is kind of weird. I think that's been done before, but not exactly sure. And I know there's a couple subways that maybe feed that. I'm not sure exactly where they are. So that's kind of cool. So my first impressions are fairly good. It has your traditional Scott Danesi ball save timer at the bottom. There's a little timer here. Excuse me. Anti-gravity power meter. You can see it's lit up right there. So there's a lot of innovation here. It looks very good. It's actually, I've heard this game has sold out within 4 hours. They've sold 750 units already. So they're going to be awfully busy down there in Benton. So my hat's off to you guys, Charlie, Scott. Really well designed, even without, knowing anything about the show. The show is just icing on the cake. So I say it's fairly good. If I had to criticize anything about this game, and if I have to, it would maybe be this right return here is a little bland, but I mean, that's stretching it. Obviously, we'd have to see how it plays, if there's some weird quirks about it or anything like that. But it looks innovative enough and a little bit divergent from your fan layout. So I think it'll be fine. So those are my thoughts on the Rick and Morty Pinball from Spooky Pinball. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. You can also support us on Patreon or TeePublic.